Every day, you make financial decisions. What to buy, what to avoid, what to invest in, what to ignore. And you probably believe those decisions are yours. Rational, logical, independent. But what if I told you that most of your financial decisions are not really yours? What if they are influenced, shaped, and sometimes completely controlled by systems you don't even notice? This is not about conspiracy. This is about psychology. And if you understand this, you gain something extremely powerful: awareness. Because once you see the patterns, you stop being controlled by them. Before we go deeper, if you want to understand how money, psychology, and real-world decision-making actually work, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this is the kind of knowledge that changes how you think, not just what you do. Let's start with something simple. Imagine you walk into a store. You see a product with a price of $100. Next to it, another product, originally priced at $200, now discounted to $120. Which one feels like a better deal? Most people choose the second option, not because it's objectively better, but because of something called anchoring. Your brain uses the first number it sees as a reference point. That 200 creates the illusion that 120 is a bargain, even if the real value of the product is far lower. This is one of the simplest ways your decisions are influenced, and it happens everywhere. Online, in stores, in subscriptions, in investments. Now think about this. If a simple number can change your perception of value, how many of your decisions are actually based on reality? And how many are based on perception? And I want to ask you something. Have you ever bought something and later realized you didn't really need it? Write it in the comments, because this happens more often than people admit. Now let's go deeper. There's another mechanism called social proof. When you see that thousands of people bought something, your brain assumes it must be good. When you see reviews, ratings, testimonials, you feel safer. But here's the problem. Safety is not always truth. Sometimes it's just repetition. If enough people believe something, it starts to feel real, even if it's not accurate. And companies know this. That's why you see bestseller, most popular, limited stock. These are not just labels, they are triggers. And here's where it becomes dangerous. Because once you rely on external validation, you stop thinking independently. You follow patterns instead of analyzing them. If this is making you see things differently, take a second, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because understanding this is one of the biggest advantages you can have in the modern world. Now let's talk about urgency. You've seen it everywhere. Only 2 left. Offer ends tonight. Last chance. These messages are designed to create pressure, and pressure reduces thinking. When you feel like you might lose an opportunity, your brain switches from analysis to reaction. You don't evaluate, you act. And in many cases, that action is not in your best interest. Now here's something even more subtle. Framing. The way information is presented changes how you interpret it. If I tell you a product has a 90% success rate, it sounds great. If I tell you it has a 10% failure rate, it sounds risky. Same data, different perception. This is how financial products, investments, and even salaries are presented to influence your decisions. So let me ask you this. Are you making decisions based on facts, or based on how those facts are presented to you? Now let's connect this to money in a deeper way. Every time you spend, invest, or save, you are not just making a financial decision. You are reinforcing a behavior. You are training your brain. If you constantly react to offers, discounts, and external signals, you build a reactive mindset. If you pause, analyze, and think long-term, you build a strategic mindset. And this is where the real difference happens. Not in income, but in decision quality. Because over time, better decisions compound. Small advantages today become massive differences in the future. Let's go even deeper. There's something called delayed gratification, the ability to sacrifice something now for something greater later. Most people struggle with this, not because they are weak, but because the environment is designed to reward immediacy. One-click purchases, instant delivery, fast results. Everything is built to reduce waiting, but wealth is built on the opposite principle: waiting, compounding, patience. So now you have a conflict. The environment pushes you to act now. Wealth requires you to think long-term, and the people who win are those who can resist the environment. If you've made it this far, it means you're starting to think differently. So take a second, like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is exactly the kind of awareness that separates average decisions from powerful ones. Now let's make this practical. How do you take back control? First, slow down your decisions. The faster you decide, the easier it is to manipulate you. Second, question the frame. Ask yourself how the information is being presented and why. Third, remove emotional pressure. If something feels urgent, step back. Real opportunities don't disappear in minutes. Fourth, focus on long-term value, not short-term satisfaction. And finally, build awareness. Because awareness is the first layer of control. Once you see the pattern, you can choose differently. So here's the truth. You are not as independent as you think, but you are not powerless either. Once you understand the psychology behind decisions, you stop reacting and start choosing. And now I want to ask you one final question. What is one decision you made in the past that you would change today, knowing what you know now? Write it in the comments, because reflection is where real change begins. If you got value from this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This channel is about one thing: helping you think better so you can earn, save, and build better.